Hi, and welcome to Regan Real Reviews. My name is Kathleen Regan, and I'm a writer and actor, and I watch a lot of film and TV, and I just put my reviews out here so you can take a look or listen. I may have spoiler alerts because I don't know what spoils it for you, because it may not spoil it for someone else, so watch at your own risk. So today I'm going to do a review on two based on a true story limited series. One came out recently, Murdaugh, A Death in the Family, and the other one is an oldie but goodie called The Thing About Pam. Okay, Murdaugh, Death in the Family. I give it 5 reels. Yep, 5 reels. Now, those of you out there that are true crime people like I and my sister and a lot of my friends are, Murdaugh, the family Murdaugh, it's a crime story that's been done over and over again in documentaries. And they're a family set in the South, and the Murdaugh family, the father, the grandfather, the uncle, everyone are these top lawyers in the town. They own everything, right? They're the people that everyone goes to. They're the rich. They own the town pretty much, right? And this true crime story is just about this family and how all throughout the years murder seems to kind of follow them around, and it's kind of a crazy story. It dives into drugs and greed and all that kind of stuff that we're used to, unfortunately. And it sort of comes to an end when Alec Murdaugh, the father, is accused of killing his wife and his one son. Now, again, I've seen the Murdaugh murders done in many documentaries, and was kind of skeptical when this was coming out because I was like, been there, done that kind of thing. But it was really good. It was really well done. And my sister and I could not wait for the new episode to come out. We'd be like, oh my gosh, did you watch the new one? It's coming out Thursday, that kind of thing. It's on Hulu. I think it is 8 episodes, and it needed all 8 episodes. It was exciting. It was moving. It kept me on the edge of my seat. Okay. Patricia Arquette and Jason Clarke play the mother-father Murdaugh, Alec Murdaugh and his wife. And those two actors had this chemistry between them that is something that we as actors and people that watch a lot of film and TV that we look for, we wish for, we hope for. Whether those two actors were yelling at each other or loving each other or just having a normal conversation in this series, the chemistry was undeniable. They were excellent, and I was jealous even as an actor, going, man, I wish I had some of that chemistry right now on screen with someone. It's just so much fun to watch, and it's just delightful, and a very, very well done job. The sons were played by Johnny Birchtold and Will Harrison. They also had this brother chemistry that was totally realistic. They had this little bit of jealousy. They had a lot of love. They had a little bit of vying for their parents. They had this little oh my God, you're my annoying little brother, you're my annoying big brother who's perfect, like that kind of thing. But it wasn't too much. It was just the right amount. And those actors did a great job and totally believed that they were brothers. And I thought they played it beautifully. Also, a shout out goes to Gerald McRaney, who plays the father or grandfather. He's like the head Murdaugh guy. And you've known him in different things. I used to love him in Major Dad. I used to watch him when he was with his wife Delta Burke on Designing Women, and he played like a guest star role for a while. I love him. I think he was perfectly cast as the grandfather. He did an excellent job, and it was so good to see him on screen again. Some other people I was so happy to see on screen again. Brittany Snow. I know you've been doing a lot of stuff lately. Hunting Wives. If you haven't seen that one, see that one. Brittany Snow plays the journalist that kind of picks up on all these murders, following the Murdaughs around, and kind of doesn't let it go. I love seeing her. She's just a bright spot whenever she's in anything. And I also want to give a huge shout out. And yes, I'm glad she's back, and maybe I haven't seen her in anything, but I'm so glad she's in this. Her name is Kathleen Wilhoit, and I'm probably saying the name wrong. She was really big in the 80s and 90s. I remember her from Crossing Delancey, which is one of my favorite little romantic films that I love. she was she was a darling in the 80s and 90s, and I know she has done stuff since then in episodes of things. I haven't seen her, and again, this just could be me, in a major role lately. She plays the longtime housekeeper that gets mysteriously dead, right? Whether she was by accident or it was murder, they kind of never really touch on that. But she plays the housekeeper that's more than a housekeeper, right? The youngest son is really attached to her. He grew up with her. She's a loving mother to the Murdaugh family. She's also a loving mother to her own two sons. She's struggling. She's trying to make ends meet. She's giving. She's loving. She's caring. And Kathleen Wilhoit, I was so happy to see you. I was so happy to see you in this, and I really hope that she gets a lot more roles, because it was just fun to see her again, and she's a fantastic actor. So the other thing is the creators were Michael Fuller, Erin Lee Carr. Erin Lee Carr, if you remember, I mentioned her before. She has done a lot of documentaries or based on a true story sort of series. She just did one that I reviewed called How to Fix a Drug Scandal. Erin Lee Carr, I will watch anything she does from now on. Anything. And Erin, hit me up if you need me involved in anything. Fantastic job. Again, Michael Fuller was the showrunner as well as the creator. And I sat there and I thought about this, and I thought, again, I've seen this murder done or talked about 100 different ways. So why does this work? Why did it work? I think it's everything, right? It's everything. You got to take into account anyone from the creators to the pre-production team, including casting director, which, by the way, the casting directors are, let me get to this. The casting director is from Automatic Sweat. It's John Papsadera, and he did Oppenheimer. I don't know, little movie. I don't know if you heard of it. And the local casting was from Bremen Doyle. Great. I mean, great eye for the characters and for the actors. So going back to why it works, it's everyone. It's everyone from the casting directors, the writers, the creators, the, location managers, to all the crew and cast that were on the set filming every day, from the PAs, catering. It doesn't matter what they are, right? To post-production, to marketing. This is why it works. It's exciting. You wait for every episode. You can't wait to see what happens next, even though you know what's going to happen next because you know the whole story. But for somehow they make it exciting and thrilling. So even if you know about these murders, please watch this. It's Murdaugh, A Death in the Family, 5 reels, and it's on Hulu. Now the other one, it may be something not a lot of people have seen before. It's based on a true story limited series called The Thing About Pam. It is 5 reels again. Yes, I'm giving out a lot of reels today, but maybe it's the holiday season, but these two really deserve it. Thing About Pam, it's on Peacock. It may be on some other streaming now, but it originally was on Peacock, and I think it's still there. This is based on a true story set back in 2011. There was a woman called Betsy Faria, and she was murdered, and her husband was convicted of her murder and sent to jail. And as sort of the story unfolds, she has 2 daughters. I believe it was 2 daughters. One daughter was more prevalent and kind of looking for justice. And things started to unfold about how this woman, Betsy's best friend, Pam Hupp, may have been involved. And then as things start to come out, it becomes more and more bizarre. And it turns out Pam Hupp actually did do the murder. And this was, I think, 6 episodes. Every episode is worth it. I've seen this, I think, 2 or 3 times already. It is more than just sort of a limited series. It's almost like a mockumentary. It kind of makes light, not of the murder, my God, no, not of the murder, but of the crazy situation that these people and Pam Hupp, just her crazy mind in this odd, very odd sort of circumstances around this. In the end, I think justice was done, but to me, I know Betsy's real daughter in real life, one of her daughters is speaking out against this limited series, and I don't know why, I don't know what her reasoning is, but I thought it showed her family in a very good, loving, soft light, and a one that you felt for, and I thought it showed Pam in a, just like I said, delusional kind of crazy, manipulative murderer. So I don't know her reasons, the daughter's reasons, but I thought it was very well done. It is also narrated, right? The whole thing. It was done on Dateline the first time. Like they brought the murder they always do on Dateline. And if you know Dateline, like I know Dateline, Keith Morrison is the guy you want narrating anything. So Keith Morrison narrates this whole thing, which was kind of lent itself to that kind of, we're making light of this craziness, or this is so bizarre that we're having Keith Morrison narrate this. And by the way, Keith Morrison, you can narrate my life, my death, my funeral. His voice is just, you got to hear his voice. So it was, the showrunner was Jenny Klein. She did Daisy Jones and the Six. I don't know if you saw that. There were many writers, including Jenny and Travis Sentel, who was the staff writer. The main star, the woman who played Pam, the thing about Pam, was Renee Zellweger. Now, as a plus-size actor myself, I always am a little skeptical when someone has to put on a fat suit and plays a character. I kind of are like, I don't know about this. Are they going to really do it well? And you should probably hire someone that's a plus size like me. But one of my mantras always is you hire the best person for the job. And I know Renee went into about 80 minutes a day for this prosthetics all over her. And she plays this plus size woman, Pan Hop. And she did a great job. As a plus size actor, she really was great for this role. And I hated to admit it, but she was. And she got these nuances that we as plus size people have difficulty throughout the day. So, getting up off of a low chair or a low couch, just certain mannerisms that you recognize that maybe slender people don't have. And I thought Renee nailed those. She nailed the character. Yeah, my trepidations aside, I think you did a great job, Renee. Not that you need to hear it from me. Josh Duhamel was also in this. Josh Duhamel, you remember from the old, like, Bringing Up Baby or whatever. He does this character who is an attorney, and he is not sleazy, but he's confident in, like, this odd way, slick kind of way. And I've never seen him in a role like this, and I think he did a great job. Judy Greer plays the prosecuting attorney who is just spiteful. It's just despicable. She's just someone you don't like, but Judy Greer plays it with a smile the whole time that, like this. And Judy Greer, I have loved you since I think it was the year 2000 when you were in What Women Want. And Judy Greer, your career is one that I would love to have had. You will recognize Judy Greer. If you don't recognize her, I swear to God, now you'll start watching things and you'll be like, oh, there's that Judy Greer. She, again, did a fantastic job of this. This really works as sort of a mockumentary. Again, it doesn't play light of the murder. It plays light of the craziness. And it was nominated for 4 Hollywood Critic Awards, including writing and one for Renee, Josh, and Judy. It was nominated for the People's Choice Award for the most binge-worthy show, and I totally agree. It's fun, it's light, it's interesting, it's crazy. It is sad. It is just eye-opening. And Keith Morrison, Renee, everyone else, you did a great job. So check it out. The Thing About Pam, I believe it's on Peacock and other streaming. And thank you for watching Regan Real Reviews. I'll see you next time.